Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the club call. It's Wednesday. It's on 5 o'clock. And it's the club call. So this is your opportunity to give us a call. The link is on Toffee TV Premier at the top. If you want to click that link and get in touch with us and have a chat with us about anything. I'll be honest, anything. There are no boundaries today. Just anything. Honestly. If we were to show you the things Ned shows us off his phone, you would know there was no boundaries.
Some boundaries.
I feel like Ned needs boundaries. Yeah. He's going to need boundaries next week.
Yes.
But we can't really talk about that. Nope. Because
we can't. It's not an open forum.
No.
So there you go. There you go. So yeah, you know what to do. If you're a Toffee TV Premier member, get involved.
Remember when we used to have our radio show and we had a competition called Where on Earth is Raphael Shite?
Tremendous.
Maybe we should change that to Where on Earth is Dele Ali.
He's disappeared, hasn't he?
Where on earth is Dele Ali? Dele Ali, where are you?
Has he disappeared?
I don't know. He's probably gone with Kim Kardashian. He was with his. Did you see the picture of him with the kids?
No.
So there was a picture of Dele Ali with his Kim Kardashian's kids, obviously Kanye West's, and he looked like a children's TV presenter on a show. He had like these dungarees and he was like with these little kids and it just looked like he was doing like play school or something. So maybe that's why he doesn't want to play football anymore. Maybe he's going to be the new host of kids TV, if that's still a thing.
Dele Ali spotted on Kim Kardashian's Instagram story days after being binned by Besiktas, it says. Oh yeah, he's dungarees, yeah.
It does, doesn't he? Looks like he's just about to do a big heart attack or something.
Fair play to.
She was doing the rounds of. She's got bangings with footy recently. So she was at the Arsenal. She went PSG, but she's always wearing footy kits, but like in a way that makes footy kits worth £8 million. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Just the footy top on or something?
No, but you'll wear them. But you'll wear like PSG tops from like the early 2000s.
Okay.
So automatically, if anyone's got that shirt will be on sale for like. Suddenly will become like a £200 shirt and stuff because obviously the retro footy market is ridiculously expensive. But if Kim Kardashian's wearing a shirt, she's going to make it worth more.
It's okay because I've just seen a picture of then she's on FaceTime to Bukayo Saka.
There you go, see, she's got bangings of footy.
Okay.
Fair play to her.
See, if you're Dele, right? And the manager's basically said to you, you're binned, mate.
Yeah.
Then
why wouldn't you?
Why would you go back?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If he said you're not going to be in these, I know people are saying, "I'm going, well, he's a professional and he's got, fair play, get all that." But what I mean is, it's not like he's just not turned up for training and he's playing every week, is he? The manager's come out and criticised him consistently since he took over, really, hasn't he?
Just doesn't like him.
Sen Algunas just doesn't seem to like him, but
get on with him. He will say the things that Frank Lampard would dare not say.
He said something like it's been raining, so that's why it's something, didn't he? That's why he's not back or something.
I love it though. I love that. I love a bit of that though. That's tremendous. He's not here. Where is he? Don't know. It's raining, isn't it? He's probably gone back to London where it's dead sunny. Do you think Kim Kardashian is into XG?
She might be.
I'm just wondering how much into the sport she is.
She might be. She'll get into it. She's gonna get into football over a period of time. She's gonna have to.
Right.
She's gonna have to understand XG, isn't she?
Probably thinks it's a rapper or something. Oh yeah.
She understands the XG of making money. I know that.
I heard XG's song get dropped. It was great.
She understands.
There you go. She understands the
Carla says, "Or where on earth is Gabaman?"
Have some spot.
I think John Philly generally does turn up for training.
He doesn't get played very much anymore, but there you go.
Claire says, "Hi all, hope all is well and you are enjoying the break away from the Toffees. hopefully we come back refreshed, and that's it for the Spurs game.
What break are we having from the top? We work here every
I'll be
day.
honest, Claire. This is like an all right time to be a Toffee at the moment. We're 3 games without defeats. I mean, that's
What a time to be alive.
that is a tremendous. That's a tremendous run for Everton. Claire also says Dele is round Ned's house doing his tea.
We had to have a big conversation with Ned
Had a
before
serious
about food,
conversation with
about
Ned
food
today.
because it's his food habits are just terrible.
Absolutely shocking.
And his and put it this way, there's 3.
Dietary habits are terrible.
Put it this way, there's 3 cans of Lynx in the toilet.
Ruben says apparently Dele's been blanking Besiktas phone calls. I do feel sorry for him. But
Graham Rodgers says,
like
do
that.
not compare that runt to the might of Neil Buchanan.
You can't have a go with Dele like that. I don't think we can do Dele dirty like that. Can we?
Right.
I don't think you can.
We've got Pat on the line.
Have we?
Yeah.
I've got no chance, have I? Because you've whatever.
I mean, I haven't done anything.
Hey guys.
Hello, Pat.
Hey, let's can we get some English
hang
topics
on,
on?
Pat has just literally cut me off. Just give me a sec.
Okay,
Just cut
alright.
me off.
I don't know what
Just cut you off, Pat. Hang on.
Pat's still there. You've just cut
Yeah,
yourself
I'm still
off.
here.
Go on, Pat.
Can we get some more English topics on too? I get why like Astro and I and a bunch of Americans talk because we don't have anyone else to talk
That's it,
to
mate.
about this sport.
That's it.
It's like this is our outlet, you know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I can talk with my dad, who I've gotten into in the last couple of months to watch, but I can call him up. But it's like that's not the same. I can't go down to a pub and be like, "Hey, what do you think about that game? How about the win at Arsenal?" And they'll look at me like, "What's an Arsenal? What do you mean? Do you mean
I'm
the
sure-
station down the
Everton
road?"
say that. Everton say that. To be fair, what's an
Yeah,
Arsenal?
you are in America. If you said to someone in a bar, what do you think about Arsenal? I would be very, very worried for your life.
They'll probably
will
think
take
about the
you to
local
their-
police
They'll
station.
probably be doomsday preppers and they'll take you into their basement.
Absolutely.
It'll be like in Tremors.
Oh Jesus! Oh, that's a creepy movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Don't be worried.
So
Listen, people, Americans call us for exactly the reason you've just said, because they've got maybe have no one else to talk to about this. So don't be ashamed of that. We are happy to have you call us every week, Pat.
Absolutely.
so Baz, my point about the refs was just so watching it as I've come back. Oddly, I picked like the worst season coming back under Rafa's season to watch, but the idea of at least how I've understood the rules of football is like you use your body, use your legs. If it's physical, it's fine, but I see people grabbing each other, Virgil van Disney putting his arm around people's necks and not getting a call, like, in the penalty box, that's the frustration about it. I am perfectly fine seeing, when Erling Haaland goes and throws someone, 5 yards in the air because he was too strong and he shoulders to shoulders, or Tarky, blows somebody up because they're not strong enough. I'm fine with that. But this grabbing of the shoulder, I got the ball, but then, I broke a guy's leg. That was my only point about that.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm with it. I'm with it.
It's just anyways. So I think can we win against Spurs?
Okay.
Poch may be coming back, maybe, who knows? But I feel like that could galvanize because that team really did love Poch, and it's basically the same team. So I feel like that could be dangerous, and I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on how we prevent sort of the counterattacks against our counterattacks, because this could end up being two teams standing and staring at each other from behind each other's halfway line, or when we push forward and get our press going. I think Baz and Ped, you guys have both said we're really horrible. We're like one of the worst teams in the league at giving up counterattack goals.
Just on Poch, interesting thing, if he did come back, his last game as Tottenham manager was against Everton at Goodison, and his first game back will be as Tottenham manager against Everton. However, the way I understand it from the likes of Ornstein and Matt Law, who's normally quite good with Spurs, they won't be making another appointment until the summer. It'd be Ryan Mason for the final 10 games of the season, should they depart with Antonio Conte. So I'm not too worried about that one. in terms of Tottenham, I would have said that it would have played out like that if we'd have had Frank Lampard as the manager. We would have tried to play on the counter-attack and they would have tried to play on the counter-attack. I'm not convinced Sean Dyche does that at Goodison. I've not seen any evidence. Even against Arsenal, I don't think we tried to counter-attack them. I just think we made sure we blocked off as much of their attacks as we could. I think we were direct when we needed to be. We worked hard. We have got better at pressing under Dyche, but we do give up. We still have give up a couple of goals on the counter-attack in the last 2 away games, haven't we? Certainly. Forest with the Corey and Chelsea's second goal at the weekend with Iwobi with a loose pass. So it'll be interesting to see. Spurs are all over the place at the moment. Defensively, they're terrible. They are all over the place. They're obviously any team that's got Harry Kane in is a massive threat, and Son and Kulusevski. They are really, really good players. Look, Richarlison's touch and go, isn't he? As to whether he's going to be back for that one. But they've got plenty of other options. Perisic, who come on and scored at the weekend. So they've got plenty going one way. But I don't know. I think under the lights with the crowd and the way Everton are playing and feeling, and maybe their Spurs are a little bit in between. It might actually be more dangerous if Conte's still a manager, given what he said on Saturday. They'd be looking for he'd be looking for a response. But with whoever's in charge, Pat, it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, I don't think Pochettino's coming back this season. So yeah, they might feel a little bit freer if it is. If he's gone, they might be a little bit more attacking. They might loosen it up a little bit. But listen, that's for us to deal with, isn't it? It will. We don't normally do particularly well against Spurs, but you've got to change it up, haven't you? I think we've grown in confidence in the last few games, and I think the manager's got something going now, and hopefully that continues. And It's a difficult one because we don't know where Spurs are going to be, but if we can get the first goal, then why not? Why can't we beat them? Harry Kane's obviously a tough good player, and they've got other good players, but I'm not particularly worrying about it just yet. To be honest,
could Harry just get a little slight calf strain and just miss our game?
Away for England, isn't he? So
yeah, just miss our game and then nothing serious.
Pickford,
come back the next game. But
in training, Pickford just Van Dijk him.
Give him a little. Yeah. Oh, it's a bit harsh.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Harsh. One game will do me, the Everton game. You can come back with it because
be Arsenal that again.
We might want him to do well to get them fourth, to keep others out of the race for fourth. But no, listen, it's a tough game. And we haven't beat them at Goodison Park for 11 years in the league. I know we beat them in the cup. So it's not a fixture we do really well in anyway, in recent times. But like Pez just said, you got to mix that up sometime, and I think we're okay at Goodison at the moment, particularly if we can get the first goal. We get the first goal, and we've got a good chance.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I was trying to look on SofaScore because I was seeing Iwobi was getting dispossessed and had miscontrols that were being crazy. I'm not going to be able to go through like all of it and look at whether that was different when he was in the midfield, but I've noticed he's led the team in being in possessions lost, like the last 3 or 4 games running. I just don't think. I think he's a midfielder, but he's a midfielder that you got to have like N'Golo Kante behind to support. And Ghana, if he was 28, maybe could do it, but this is a 34-year-old Ghana or 33 or 34-year-old Ghana. That's my concern, is that I don't know who. I mean, do you just put Gray on the right and Sims up top? It's concerning me how much he's giving the ball away.
The problem is, though, Pat, and I get what you're saying, right? But the issue is, why would we change it at the moment when it seems to be a little bit of a formula? You know, the 3 games Gray's played up front, Everton are unbeaten in, and I've looked much more lively. I get what you're saying about Iwobi, but one thing you do have to factor in is players like Iwobi will give the ball away more than other people, because he is trying to he is trying to create opportunities. He's the one that plays risky passes. The one on Saturday, though, me saying all that, the one on Saturday for their second goal wasn't a risky pass. It was a pathetic pass. It was an awful pass. And what he should have done, instead of trying to do back heels on the halfway line and 6, if you're under pressure, just knock it into the corner and we'll go after it. Let's start playing, not percentage football, but there's a time and the place to do that. He done one against Brentford the week before when we were on the counter-attack. He done some stupid back heel on the halfway line, fell over and they broke on us. And if you'd just played a simple ball, we would have maintained our attack. So it's those moments, and I'm sure Sean Dyche and Ian Woan and Stone and that are looking at it and saying to him, let's be a little bit more careful with the ball when we're in transition, because you give a sloppy pass away, we're in trouble. And we've seen that at Forest, didn't we, with Decore? Decore would have either kept hold of the ball a little bit or made sure with the pass. Chances are Forest don't get back into that game. So,
absolutely.
But I just think players like Iwobi are more likely to give the ball away anyway.
But he gives away cheaply though.
No, he does. I think we all do, mate, to be honest. But
yeah.
But 18, 19, 21, and 20 possessions lost in the last 4 games. I mean, I get it. He's going to be the player, which is what he was under Frank. But that's a lot.
What's McNeil's in that time? And I'm only using him, Pat, just because he's the other wide player. That's the only reason I'm bringing Dwight in.
Chelsea, 13 against Brentford.
It's probably about right for that kind of player. Dribbles a bit more.
And 18 against Forest when we did that. So that's the thing. But he's outperforming in terms of ball security.
I just think
quite a deal.
Yeah. No, you listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, because you're not, but I'm just saying there is that situation with players who are trying to play them balls. They will give up possession. Iwobi's one. He's frustrating. He's loose with it sometimes, and I don't mind him trying to thread the ball through and it gets cut out. No issue with that. It is the one like Saturday for me where he's knocking it back into a crowded area, and not only is he doing that, he's playing it to a player who's got no idea who's around him, and he's under hitting the pass as well. It's like the three no's that you don't do in a packed area. But yeah, listen, what I wouldn't do, me personally, I wouldn't bring Ellis Sims in from the start and play Gray wide. I think we've got to keep the pressure off Ellis, let him continue to work hard. He becomes an option off the bench now because he knows where the net is. I just think if we start not scoring goals in this formation, then you can think about bringing him in. But the last 3 games, we've scored 5 goals, which is quite a lot for us.
And our XG is even higher, so we're underperforming even in a good purple patch.
So that's what you have to look at. We have to look at, and Sean Dyche really look at everything, and he'll go, well, we're doing better in this, and we're doing well in this, and we're doing well in that. And just right now, Iwobi's part of that, isn't he? When Patterson's fitter, and maybe if Dom comes back and he's another option, and James Garner's got more minutes under his belt or more training, he might look at it and go, right, we can tinker a little bit. But just right now, I think you just keep going with what you're doing at the moment, and see where we are. That's how I'd approach it anyway. I might be wrong.
I'll say this is the last interesting point is I saw in a BBC article that Onana, Agana, and Decore all sort of like pray together and then talked in this this article about how they have a really close connection. Do you think that's, and they all speak French as well, and both, I guess, Onana was born in Senegal, at least I think. Is that a helpful thing to hold on to if we can, because of that connection? Is that maybe where Dyche isn't bringing in Garner? Is that maybe it? Is that the connection is so strong between that midfield 3 that he doesn't want to mess with it, doesn't want to bring in Garner, who may not have that same relationship, Yeah,
I think it'll play a little part in it if they're close, if they're linking up well. But I just think the makeup of those 3 is what he's left in at the minute, and because James Garner hasn't been fit and has been out for 3-4 months now, isn't it, since he last played, so he's aware he's out. We don't know obviously his levels because we don't have access to those training stats, but yeah, I think more the makeup of it. But that's not to say that James Garner can't can't get in at some stage. It's up to him to hit the levels and training, isn't it?
Yeah, Garner's a weird one, isn't he? Because he doesn't really... I don't know if he truly fits into any of those roles that we're looking at the moment. So I think that's the difficulty for him. I think maybe even games later on where you're looking for some kind of change, he could come on and for Garner Gay and sit in that 6 role and try and keep the ball. And that could be a negative in a negative moment or in a positive moment, just to keep the ball, keep that control. So I think he could definitely... I don't think he could fit into the other 2 roles. I think he can only really come in for Garner Gay. So, I don't think he's a manager who is looking to make changes for the sake of making changes, whether it's Ellis Sims, whether it's Garner or Patterson. I could see Patterson being on the bench for the rest of the season, because Seamus Coleman is the kind of player the manager I imagine will like. So I wouldn't even bet on Patterson coming back into the team. I really wouldn't. And it's just I think this could be near enough our starting 11, bar maybe Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming into the side for the rest of the season. He's got options coming off the bench, but I honestly don't think anyone's going to force the way into this team at the moment. Just those changes.
Yeah.
Could be right.
So the only thing I'm worried about the Tottenham game, just because how they played us last time, they sat off and made us press them, and then essentially did like what Brighton did, and that's so not really what Conte does. But they had a specific game plan for us, and we got the same players who are susceptible. And if we're going to press and push our center backs up, I guess that's my concern. But I hope
who's the manager this time?
Right.
And there's the change. That the way we approach it, I imagine, will be very different than the way we approached it at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that is what I look at. Arsenal are much better than Spurs, and we coped tremendously well with all of their attacking talent on the day. Goodison, obviously not at the Emirates. And that's how I'd look at it. Chelsea have got some excellent players, and we did okay at the Bridge at the weekend. So I'm all right with it, Pat. I'm all right with it. I think we'll be competitive. I think they might be feeling a little bit sorry for themselves with the way things have gone at the moment.
And they're fragile. And
exactly, and they've got most of their players, if not all of them, are away on international duty as well. If Conte has gone, then Ped's right. They might be a bit freer, but they might not as well. He's not the same presence. You don't know, and that's why for Everton, getting the goal up would be huge. I think let's really test their mentality. Let's get the first goal. Let's get Goodison absolutely bouncing and see how we are. Spurs off the set pieces at the weekend at St Mary's were all over the place. That's something we are quite strong at now. So, listen, I wouldn't be worrying. Certainly don't worry about it yet. I'm playing it for 12 days. But it's going to be game by game for us, Pat, and week by week, I think. And we'll just see where we are. But we're in with a chance now, aren't we? That's the best way we can look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just need those. We need 11 points now from 10 games. And if, stay in this game and then maybe nick it or get ahead and hold on for dear life, whatever we got to do. But it's been a great talking with you guys. Have a good one.
Cheers, Pat.
Go USA. Nice against Granada. The mighty Granada. Anyways.
There you go. Take care. See you later, Pat. Ta-ra, mate. Ta-ra.
Nice one to
Pat there. Just before we go anywhere, can we have the link to Toffee TV Football in the comments, please, Ned? And if you haven't subscribed yet, go and do it now, please. Hey, you, be good. Also, hit the like button. There's a lot of you here watching. Just hit it. Nothing else to do, is there? Smash the like button, I think the kids say.
I don't.
So, well, listen, let's just say it. Let's just say it. The Blues says Shane Patterson's defensive awareness isn't as good as Coleman. I think he'll stick with Coleman.
Yeah, I think he will. I think Seamus has been excellent in the games that he's been the manager of, and it allows, when you've got a manager coming in and you've got a leader like Seamus, and he's doing things on the pitch. He's showing that leadership on the pitch. It must be brilliant for a manager. And obviously you've got like the likes of Tarkowski in the team that will help get across the manager's point of view, because obviously he's played under him before. And I just don't see Patterson coming back into the side anytime soon. I don't see Garner but they are brilliant that they're there to come off the bench. And of course, if the manager does want to change it, then he's got players hopefully to change it. But I
see it slightly differently with Patterson. Garner, I agree with you. I think James Garner will be. What James Garner should, we've spoken this loads of times about certain players, but he should be the midfielder who he's looking to bring on. Rather than it being Tom Davis, it should be James Garner now. He should be the one who Dyche is looking at, thinking, I can get him in here, and like you said, he can either sit in the 6, or if the Corey's not on it, or Onana, they can switch and Garner can come on and play a little bit higher because he gets on the ball. Patterson, I think he may get a little bit of a go just for his energy. But Coleman's playing brilliantly at the moment, so don't change it for changing its sake. There's no reason. Only change it when you're seeing an issue. You know, if Seamus is looking knackered after 65 minutes, 70 minutes, then Patterson's the great option.
I think it'll be the defending part of things that'll be there.
Yeah, that'll dictate it. Yeah,
that's what it'll be.
Brad says, a hypothetical question. We were forced to sell Richarlison last summer. How would things be different at this point of the season if we would have sold somebody else for the same amount of money? And it has to be a realistic player that could demand. Well, if we're being realistic, there's nobody else. The only person who it could have been would have been Anthony Gordon, and he wouldn't have got 60 million.
No.
Jordan Pickford, you might have got 30 million for. So you can't give us a question and then kind of make it harder for us because there's no one else there who's 60 million. The first part of your question, how would it have been different? Well, we would have had someone who has scored double figures for us in every season he played for us. He would have been the number 9 through the middle. If we would have had this team, say we had this team and it was Anthony Gordon who went, right? And we were all right with that. That was okay. That meant FFP was all right, and it played out the way it did. Then for me, Everton could have been 11th maybe right now, because we would have had a lad who can put the ball in the net, a lad who occupies defenders, a lad who creates opportunity for others, and also someone who does find himself in between the posts. So when Dwight McNeil is throwing the ball in, he's in there. So I think it would have made a big difference, given we have played most of this season with no centre forward. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has played, I think he's 3 games on the run, I think he was, and he come off in the 3rd. Neil Maupay isn't a centre forward. So for Everton, haven't had a striker all season. So the fact that Everton is still even in with a chance of staying up is a bit of a minor miracle, given it's a team that doesn't have a ton of goals in it. But anyway, we have got Degsy on the line. We haven't spoke to him for a while, so hello, Degsy.
Hi guys, how you doing?
How are you, mate?
Well, I don't know. I don't think this would have never thought this would happen to me, but I lost the passion for a while.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see how this club is ever going to get forward in quite some time. There's just, I'm not one of these people that's sack this, do that. But I think they've been a disgrace in the way that they're running our football club, not their football club, our football club. 2 years. It's over 2 years since we've needed a striker. 2 years.
Some would say
Everton
5.
Football Club. Yeah. Everton haven't had a number 9. And what do Everton always have? A number 9. And then we've got DCL with this, what we can only assume as some sort of mental breakdown between him and his own body. Could you imagine Andy Gray or Graham Sharp saying, I can't go out today, boss. I can't do that. Do you know what I mean? I know it's modern players and a different era, should we say.
Yeah.
But I just don't get it. And now we've got Dele Ali, who, let's face it, he was the next great thing, wasn't he? And nobody seems to be able to motivate the guy. I just don't get modern footballers. Don't understand them at all. And I know you've got Onana running up and down and putting his hands in the air and trying to get the crowd going. But apart from Seamus Coleman, I don't see anybody playing for our football club. Putting their body on the line. I don't.
I think
Tarkowski's having a good game. And I think Pickford are doing their best. But, you know, it's going to be a miracle if we stay up. I honestly believe it. I know we're getting closer and closer. But if we stay up, then God's got to be on our side. Because, you know, and of course, there's probably 12 poor teams in this division at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when was the last time with 10 games left that if you were 12th, you could still go down?
There's awful sides have said it for years, Dex.
It's an awful league at the moment, considering the money that every club, and I mean every club now, can go out and buy a player to affect their team.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. And you watch our club build this new stadium. There's never been a glitch. There's never been a problem. And it's the same people in charge. What's going on, do you think?
To be fair, they're not going to... In terms of the stadium, they have done very well with the stadium, Everton.
It's amazing. I don't...
Well, they're not... In all fairness, they're not laying brick, are they, and putting steel in and stuff. And what they're probably doing...
But the organisation behind it, you know.
Of course, but then it's I imagine the builders are allowed to get on with the job that they're supposed to do. So if everybody, well, exactly, if everybody else at the football club maybe was allowed to get on with the job they're supposed to do, maybe Everton would be in a different position.
Yeah.
The owner probably doesn't stick his nose in anywhere where the build's concerned, and that's why it is progression. So
do you think he's ever going to learn his lesson by sticking his nose in?
No.
You know, they talked about, we've got this player, we've got this centre forward, we've got a forward coming in. And then you hear that people like him and other people, should we say, I've got to sign this chitty and all agree before the man who's supposed to be in charge of recruitment could say, come and sign, lad.
Yeah.
Why have they employed him if they don't trust him? Surely he should say, I've got this guy, this is the price, have we got the money for him? And that's all they should have anything to do with, surely. You know, if Dyche and the recruitment say, this is the player we want, he's going to cost this much. Then they go upstairs and they say, this is how much this player is going to cost us. Can we have him? And that should be the last of the story upstairs, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that's how it should work.
That's how it should work, and it seems to work at every other club that way, doesn't it? I don't know. But I have definitely, right. You know me, I just seem to have, I go the game now, and I'm not looking forward to it. I don't go looking forward to having my day out at the game. I go with trepidation. I don't see the passion in the crowd. I know the crowd are doing their best, but this crowd this season isn't last season's crowd.
It never could be, though, mate.
No,
you've got to think of the what everybody did last season.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it was the crowd that kept us up last season.
No, undoubtedly it was. But what I mean,
you know, I stood on that pitch repaired at the end of the game, and I said the crowd kept us up today, mate. And it was true.
Of course it was.
Do you know what's funny, Degs? Right, I'm a little bit. I'm like almost like the opposite to you now. I don't. Okay, maybe not looking forward to going the game, but I'm so relaxed when I'm at the match now. It's unbelievable how I just. And do you know what? I think it comes from the same place that you're coming from. I'm so relaxed because when I go, I just think last season was terrible, and I'm not going to get myself in that state again. I know you were at times last season, but in a bit of a state. But I'm not getting myself in that state this season because I honestly believe, right, whatever happens, we deserve one way or another. If Everton end up going down, we deserve it because of
we deserve it.
But because of how terribly this football club has been run, and I am really relaxed to it because I'm thinking, well, if it happens, then hopefully there'll be some change because of it.
Yeah.
And I get where you're coming from. I do think things have started to turn a little bit. I do think, I think the managers got them going in the right way, and I think things have turned a little bit. And if we things are looking a bit more positive now because you can see a little bit more organisation and a little bit more understanding of what the manager wants. I think we were all blindsided, or a lot of people were blindsided with the last minute manager, with a lot of things that were said and a lot of things that were put across. And I think this fella is, in a large way, blown that out of the water with a little bit of organisation and a little bit of understanding he understands how to get people out of these situations, and that's what's required. So, but off the pitch, it's still a massive mess, mate. It's still a massive mess. Yeah. And funny enough, we've just done a video on it. It'll be up probably tomorrow about how long this is all going to take to get sorted out, and it's probably going to take about 18 months for all this to play out till we get to a point where things start turning around and we can start being a little bit more positive about the whole situation. I think it's a big boat that needs turning around, and it's not going to happen overnight, and we are in the midst of it, and sometimes when you're in the midst of it you can't see the wood for the trees. But if we can just get through this season very much like we did last season, then hopefully things will start turning around for us.
I was never ever an advocate for Dyche. But now I've seen him in action, and he seems to realise, and I know he's saying, he comes out and says this is the best selection of players he's ever had under him, but he's realised that these players need to play simple football. Do you know what I mean? He's not asking him to do something that's beyond their skill level, which is what Lampard was doing. I think we all wanted Lampard to succeed. I know everybody did. But this guy's come in, and does he not remind you of the way that Moyes first started?
Yeah, because he's got
he's just a similar type of person, isn't
it's just the basics, isn't it?
He just plays basic football. When was the last time you saw... I mean, I suppose in the last game, Pickford did a little bit more rolling the ball out. But up until the last game, it was Pickford, get the ball and get it up there as quickly as possible and forget about messing about at the back.
Yeah.
And I think it suits this group of players. And wasn't it nice to see Sims score a goal? Yeah,
it was great. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's hope the lad can actually... I'm not expecting him to be Wonder Man or anything like that. But... he's got to be more relaxed now when he gets his chance, doesn't he? Because he's now shown he can do it at that level.
Yeah.
So maybe it might relax him into the game. But I wouldn't change this team.
No.
You don't change something that's not broken. We're getting good results. So just because we've got a couple of players fit, would you drop Coleman? No. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The man dies for the football club. But if Patterson's ready, then an hour you bring Patterson on. I'm with you on young Garner. I think he deserves a chance. But Dyche doesn't like people that are not fit all the time.
That's it.
He doesn't seem to, does he?
No.
If you've got a weakness, he doesn't want to know. He wants strong men, doesn't he? He wants people that aren't going to break down. And maybe if Garner's still around in the summer, then he'll be able to build him and get him ready.
Yeah, we can't just make changes for the sake of it.
No, I don't think so. If you got, it's the old adage, isn't it? You don't fix what's not broken.
Exactly.
And the team's doing well. I think Keane coming in has been a bit of a masterstroke at the moment. Do you know he's doing well, isn't he?
He's done all right.
I do. I mean, Conor Cody wasn't playing badly, but Keane seems to fit at the moment. He's one of these players that'll put his body on the line, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's that type of player. Plus, also, and you know, I've always said it, Keane can actually play out from the back.
No, he can't. Listen, they're in. He knows that. He knows Deitch's way of playing. He knows Tarkowski. You know, he knows what's expected. So fair enough. He's done all right. He's done okay.
He's done okay. Everybody likes Mina, but you can't trust him. You can't play him. Let him go. You know, don't give him a contract. Let him go.
No, he won't.
No, he's not getting any contract. He's on his way. He's on his way.
Decore's done well to get back in the mix.
Yes.
In fact, he's probably been our best player for a few weeks now.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done well.
Yeah.
He's got to just keep it going.
Gray's done a lot better than Mopai up front, I think.
Yeah.
You know, he puts himself about. He's more mobile. Mopai, I'll never understand that purchase, but there we go.
No, don't think anyone does.
And McNeil now, we're seeing the McNeil that played for Burnley, aren't we? Get the ball, put the ball in the box. Get the ball, put the ball in the box.
Hasn't he? It's just simplified his game.
Yeah, and he's obviously, you see the white oblong, have a shot.
Exactly. That's all it is. That's simple, mate.
That's it, isn't it?
People complicate it. People try to be clever and complicate it.
Football is like that game. I don't know if you remember the film with Pele and Bobby Moore and all those.
Escape to Victory.
Escape to Victory.
Yeah.
And do you remember Pele doing on the black ball? You give me the ball, I do this,
I do this, I do this, I do this,
I score. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is, isn't it? You hit the white oblong, and if you go in row Z, we're not bothered. We just want to see the shots on target, you know. And if you shoot as many times as you can, eventually the ball's going to go in the back of the net, isn't it? Yeah, you know.
You'd hope.
You hope. You'd hope so. Poor Onana, he couldn't hit a brick wall if it was built in front of his eyes at the moment, could he?
He will. He'll get us a big goal.
I think so. I think he's one of these players that everybody's been talking about. You bring in a lad who you know in a couple of years is going to be worth a fortune. And that's the way we've got to build our club at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But I think he's the link. But anyway, that's about it for now. I don't want to get...
Mate.
Cheers, Dex. Do us a favour, just go and check that your home's not on fire.
Oh, can you hear the buzzer?
I can hear the buzzer,
yeah, that's front door bell.
Okay.
We don't let people in, mate.
No riff raff, mate. No riff raff.
Don't let them come in here, mate. Once you're in, you don't get out.
Yeah.
Cheers, Dex.
Nice
all
one,
right,
Dex.
guys. It's good to finally get back live with you.
Brilliant, mate.
Okay.
Good lad. Take care, mate.
Anyway, when we finally get there, enjoy Monday night.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Dex. Ta-ra, mate.
Bye.
It's like that. Don't be on fire, lad.
Hello. Going on there. That wasn't good, was it? Fair play to Dexy. A few comments. Voan, the league is not terrible, lol. The league is terrible, lol. Back at you. Matty Bush says Hotel California, Dex. Fair enough. What have we seen on before? Mark thinks Deitch has just had more luck than Lampard. We haven't won a game that with less luck we could have lost. Don't understand that. I don't think Everton have had any luck, whether it was Deitch or it was Lampard. Everton haven't won games just because they've been lucky. I can't remember a single game they've had any luck in. I hope they're still to come, to be honest, Mark. Because I've seen other teams who have been battered and got that win. I would love that. Just imagine it, just nicking a game, like going to United, say, being battered and just scoring off a corner and winning 1-0. That'd be unbelievable. We just don't get that. Eugene thinks Andros Townsend will leave the club in the summer. Well, he's out of contract. He probably will. It's
Will he ever play another game for the club?
Yeah,
that's the question, isn't it? That's the question.
Tom Newton says, one of the many things that annoys me about modern football is a club like Chelsea that's had great teams, world-class players and managers, won every trophy in sight, continue to spend hundreds of millions, yet their stadium is completely lifeless with no heart or atmosphere. Yet a club like us, where we live the club every day, all day, means everything to us and we get nothing back at all. It is sad. You do wonder, Tom, how it would... I mean, I'd love to know. I'd love to experience it. But you do wonder how it changes once you do start regularly winning stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, Man City were very much like Everton for years and years and years. And then sometimes I see them score a goal and like, I'm more animated than they are. Yeah. They're just there, like, as if, we see it every
all
week.
The time, yeah.
It's like, what? Imagine that being the situation, you know what I mean? Bainey said, see, Sky are cancelling Soccer AM. It's about time. It's been garbage for years.
It has been garbage for years, let's be honest.
Ruined it, didn't it?
It's been good. I think ever since Lovejoy left, I think it's been garbage, to be honest. I think it went with him.
Terry Mack says,
times changes.
Baz only question. Since I asked Ped on Monday and he told me to ask again when Baz was back.
This is true.
After a very interesting answer about an Aintree proposal in the 80s and the football quartet much later. Was the shared stadium idea from the early mid-2000s between Everton and Liverpool ever actually discussed at a meaningful level at either club? Do you know of? Obviously, it was never gone that far. It was discussed.
Yeah, this is why I wanted to ask
It
you.
was discussed at a high level, and there was more appetite from Everton,
I said that.
obviously, than what Liverpool was. But there was discussions made because at one time it looked like it was the only real way either club could get it done. There was one at Aintree. They briefly talked about the middle of Stanley Park, and that was just thrown out immediately. But Aintree for a shared stadium. At the time, I think I ended up thinking, actually, you know what, it mightn't be that bad an idea, because you'd think of the Milan thing, and you're like, well, how would it work? Who's at home and who's away? And very easy with lights and or neutral seat, whatever. Give one team a designated home and give the other team the other end as the home end, or whatever.
That's what they do in Milan.
Exactly. So you do it like that. Am I glad that hasn't happened now? Yeah, but if it would have happened when it was discussed, Everton would be in a better position now as well, just because of the financial situation over all of that period of time. But it was discussed. It was discussed, and
it was a different time, wasn't it? Though it was like, obviously, both stadiums at the time were coming into an era where, don't forget, this was before the Premier League, so you know, this was
back on the agenda in 2000.
No, I know, but that's mostly because of Everton, though, wasn't it? And because Liverpool were like, well, we can't do nothing.
Yeah. And the council were interested in funding. I think that was the biggest thing. The council it was almost going to become Liverpool owned, as in City owned, rather than the clubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we were told, there was, because there was talk. Like, you know, what if they'd even gone as far as saying, well, one end would be Everton officers and the other end Liverpool officers and stuff like that. All of that kind of thing was discussed. So, interestingly,
it was because we were talking about, I was saying about like there was the football quarter was something that wasn't really the clubs though. That was more like people just trying to take it to the club.
Yeah.
And trying to build. That was actually two grounds. But that was two grounds within. That was like Liverpool got a new ground and Everton, and it was all about changing like all kinds though, the roads and everything. So Everton's footprint could be bigger.
It would have been brilliant.
No, it would have been.
It wouldn't have. It wasn't really viable.
No. But in the end, we know what's happened. They changed the rules. Liverpool, had stuff that they knocked down parts of Anfield and let them build on it and stuff. So ultimately, they got what they wanted, and obviously we're going to get a new ground. But obviously with the financial situation, not just for the Everton Liverpool, but for the City as well, it did seem to be a viable, sensible option for a long time.
Glenn has got a Ned-only question.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting.
Okay.
Says, which Kardashian or Jenner would you go on a date with? Assuming they all wanted to date a guitarist that was better than Ed Sheeran.
Of course, better than Sheeran, of course.
So, A, Ned, Kim Kardashian. B, Kourtney Kardashian. C, Kendall Jenner. Or D, Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn would.
Got to give all the options.
And Caitlyn would be the one for Ned.
I like how we didn't put Chloe on there because he knows that nobody's picking Chloe.
See, these are just
Chloe's not on there. These are just your
That's
four
what I'm saying.
options.
He's saying that's why he's
You know, you can't start throwing other people in. So
Who's the one that was with Harry Styles? She's quite tidy.
look, you've been given.
a bit of a sex.
You've been given 4 names. So is there any of those ladies that you would? Which one would you pick if they were your 4
Choose one of them. Probably the
Incredible
what's
story.
her name
isn't it?
now? What's her name? Kendall.
They're in front of you. Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner.
Kendall's the one that was with Harry Styles. Probably.
Did he say Caitlyn first?
No, I don't. Yeah, he said Caitlyn.
Caitlyn first.
Yeah.
No, the one that Kendall. Her name is.
Kendall Jenner. Right, okay. There you go, Glenn.
One of
Hope
them was
that
with the drummer from Blink-182.
You're massively obsessed by who people are with. That's not the question.
we've answered your question.
You're probably a better drummer than him anyway.
He probably is.
No, he's a better drummer than me.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
that.
Daniel says Spurs would have been a lot easier without the international break. Okay. Gareth says, terrifying message yesterday. I accidentally one-belled Ned, as my son is called Mathew, and I pressed the wrong Matt, and it rang. It rang once before I realised. I messaged Ned to apologise, saying, ignore it, I meant to call my son. The terrifying response he got was, I could well be your son. Didn't sleep last night, had nightmares. That's what Ned texts back to Gareth.
We do look alike, me and Gareth.
You do.
Tall and
You do both tall.
Sorry, what was the first part of that?
Both tall, yeah.
Tall and ginger.
Gareth is massive, and Ned is
Ned, the
very
only
much
place
the opposite.
you're tall is in the land of Oz.
He's tall with his mates when he goes out with the hobbits, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Oh, actually, no, he's even smaller than them.
Gandalf towers over him.
No, I'm taller than all them.
No, I don't know whether you're them hobbits who he's part of. Bainey says, I love Coleman to bits, but surely he can't carry on as he is. So I'd have Patterson and use Coleman
he is
a little more spared.
He is
playing
carrying on,
international football, isn't he? Gaz says, last 5 weeks, my under-10s results have been 1 loss, drawn, 1 drawn. We play on Saturday morning, and Everton have mirrored our results later on in the weekend every time for 5 weeks running. We have bottom of the league this weekend, who we beat 8-0 last time, and Everton don't have a game. Typical Everton. Guys, our kids' teams mirrored the last 3, and they're playing bottom of the league on Sunday as well, and Everton have no game, so sad. Michael says, I'm out and I've got no headphones, so apologies for not calling with this one. But he says, has anyone thought about what the Spurs game could potentially be like atmosphere-wise, as the financial book should have came out in public by then? There could be a massive uplift to the uproar against the board. What do you think?
No.
I haven't thought about it.
Matters, does it? They're not going to be there, I would imagine. So I don't. That should never affect the atmosphere.
No, I think the fans who've protested have proved they do that outside, then they go in and back the team. So it might outside, you never know. You never know, Michael. Outside, it could make it a bit more vociferous, a little bit angrier, so to speak. But it has been peaceful protest, I have to say that. Yeah. And then inside, it's up to the fans then to get behind the team, which they've done tremendously well. They did it at the weekend. They were in that stadium. You couldn't hear Chelsea, you could only hear Everton. So, the fans turn up all the time, and a night game. And the way I look at it, I said 37 points a while ago. I thought to keep Everton up. Everton on 26th, beat Spurs. 8 points more to go. That's the way I'm looking at it. Now, okay, it might not be that. It might need a little bit more than that, but 8 points. If we were to beat Tottenham, in my world, you'd need 8 points from 9 games. That's very doable. Very doable. So it's in our hands. But if you can't win, don't lose it. Yeah. But you have to keep keep chipping away and doing it. But I think the atmosphere will be good anyway, because the fans will make sure it's good. That's the way it is. Ruben de Souza says, I enjoy Soccer AM. That's such the thing and it's flew up. Fair enough, mate. Oh yeah, I enjoy Soccer AM. I've never really watched the old one, so I can't compare.
No, the old one was brilliant. But then things have changed, though, haven't they? Like, it used to be like you'd have like the Soccerette and all that. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do that anymore. And no, it just used to be like quite edgy and quite. And it's like everything else. I suppose it's like it's pre like YouTube. So there's some scenes from before make a really good point of saying like, remember like the Showboat and stuff. They have like the clips of Showboats, and it's loads of stuff you'd never see. But now a lot of that stuff you might see getting shared around social media during the week, so it's not fresh or new anymore.
It's gone, hasn't it? They can't.
The game's gone.
The game's gone. No, well, the programme can't get the stuff out quick enough, can it? Because of social media. No. So it is difficult, and it's hard to keep coming up with new stuff all the time. I just think they've moved away from what it was really. You can always repeat the season.
It's a different era.
No, but you can always repeat the season. So you do your shows all season. You can always repeat them the next season. It's just about quality, whereas they've moved too far.
I haven't
watched it for years, but I stopped watching it because it moved too far the other way. John G says, I know a Man City lad, and him and his mates often stay on the concourse after half time having beers. Literally told me it's got a bit boring when they steamroll the teams. Wouldn't know.
Good for them.
Would not know.
Good for them.
Okay, where are we?
I'll tell you, it's a good question just on the stadium. Well, because he said about concourses there. I was watching one of the drone videos yesterday and someone asked a question and I didn't know the answer to this and I don't know if anyone else knows the answer to it. So, the new stadium, will you be allowed to move between stands like we did in Germany? So,
without sitting in them, you just walk around?
Because apparently at Spurs you can't.
Yeah, no.
Which means that you can go and use the facilities of a bar somewhere else. And of course, then when you go up to get your, like we experienced when we were in Germany, when you go up to go in your seat, that's when they'll check your ticket to make sure you're not sitting in another area. But this is something I'm not aware of, and I wonder if anyone else is aware of this because I just don't know. Because obviously, we're used to a system where obviously we stay in our bit and we get all the same kind of stuff. But for a football club with a new stadium, they're not going to want to repeat the same bars because you're limiting yourself then. So is the stadium, apart from obviously the away end, can you walk around it? Is it multifunctional? Can we move from one stand to another stand so that we can use the facilities of the other stand?
Sure. In America, when I've gone to games in America, you can walk around the whole of their stadium.
Because we're not used to that kind of thing. I'm just wondering, because I've not heard that address. So if anyone's aware of that, let me know.
Let us know.
Have we still got Brian?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on him on then. Hello, Brian.
How you doing, lads?
Oh, you're a bit in the distance there. Use your mic.
How's that doing?
Bit more. Can you get a bit closer? Go on. You're a bit in the You're just a bit in like you're in a cave.
Ooh.
There you go. That's better.
That's better.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I hope Degsy's still listening because there's one thing I agreed with him on.
Okay.
And that's divine intervention.
Okay.
Did you notice when young Mr. Sims buried the ball in the shed end? How lovely feeling that was.
Yeah.
Did you notice something? There were two Everton players following up, waiting for a rebound. Two.
True, yeah.
When was the last time we saw that? How long have we been going on about simple things like that?
Yeah.
Hey, two of them, Decore and Gray, were there waiting for a parry from the goalie or something. Wonderful to see. So you're right, Degsy. We've been praying for it, and it's happening. Divine intervention.
Or just getting better at footy.
Well, you need what was something you said about needing all the help we can get and lucky stuff?
Exactly.
Well, whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
But divine intervention's got to be because we've all been praying for things like this. Yeah. This finally happened.
No, we have.
So I hope he's feeling better for that.
I think the thing as well is that's just coaching, isn't it? Just telling your players to get into the right areas. It makes sense that you're gonna score a goal if you're in the middle of the goal, and that's why we did have Damari Gray and we had Abdoulaye Doucouré following in on the shot. We had the one just before that with Dwight McNeil as the shot, and if Kepa parries it, then Ellis Sims has got to tap in. So it's what we've got to do. It's one of the things that wasn't happening enough under Frank Lampard. Simple
I
as.
think there's a bit more desire to get there than previously.
Maybe, I don't know.
By the players,
Belief.
by the players themselves.
Belief
Because
as well.
it has been mentioned on, well, how many times, I don't know how long we've been going on about it, that Maupay just doesn't smell those chances. He doesn't read the play. He doesn't get there. But just all of a sudden, it's happening. So, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Well done, Degs. I agree with you, lad. I hope he feels better for that.
I'm sure he will, mate. I'm sure you've made this night.
Yeah.
Well, someone's going to try.
Exactly.
And I'd like to shout out all the Premier members for not phoning in.
Yeah, I know. You know what
Honest
they're
to
like.
God, this is one of the best programs of the week, and they're not taking part in it.
They're all the watchers, mate. The voyeurs. They're shy. Some of them are like, I'd love to, but I'm nervous. Like, why are you nervous? Just phone up, say your thing, say your piece, and then you're done. But
Imagine if you had to see my ugly mug, crikey.
we're looking at it right now. You've got you're in your
Well, yeah, but nobody else has
no,
to.
no. Well, it could do. We could do if we wanted, but we're not going to. But no,
good idea.
it's all good. It's all good, Bri.
All right. Well, keep on with the show.
Cheers, Bri.
Cheers, Brian. Take
Good
care,
night.
mate.
See you
See you
later.
later. Bye.
Ah, mate.
Lila says, I'm wondering whether Iwobi is colourblind, the amount of time he gives the ball to an opponent's shirt.
Colourblind shouldn't be come into it, really, should you? Because, it's your mate.
It should be your mate, yeah.
It's your mate,
It's your mate, yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, she might be right. But I'm colourblind, I never give the ball away.
You go.
So there you go. Georgie says, where is everyone going to park? Bramley Moor.
I don't know.
Anywhere you can.
There's lots of places. There's the city centre. Well, I don't even know why I've got my headphones on. You've got the city centre. You've got other train stations on the way in. I'm sure there'll be places to park where you can then jump on a train or jump on a bus. There'll be places down there, I imagine, as well, and it's not something I'm particularly worrying about right now.
Yeah,
if I'm honest. I'm sure there's places by Moorfields and by Old Hall Street and places around there that you'll be able to park, and it's not a very long walk. It's only 15 minutes, I think, from Old Hall Street. So, take advantage of the city centre parking. And just walk down or jump a bus or jump on the train at Moorfields and then get off at Sandfield, Sandhills or whatever. Lots of ways.
Is that still available on our shop? That mug you've got, the Everton Seaman? No. It was a limited edition, Jess. But we have got other mugs coming on. There is some new ones on the shop.
Stuff just come out.
Go and have a look, Jess. There's some new ones.
I know, but they can't click on them.
He can't click on it, can he? So
if only there was a way of Ned putting adverts on the YouTube thing, which he can't.
Lee says regarding Soccer AM
things you can click on the YouTube stream, which you can. Yeah.
Okay, let's go again. Regarding Soccer AM being cancelled, I always prefer goals on Sunday with Cammy and guests. Always found it more enjoyable. Watched some match of the day. Here's hoping Dom gets a good training session in and fingers crossed on a bench for Spurs. Keep up the good work, all at Toffee TV. Well, he's gone on, apparently, out to Dubai with a personal trainer, Dom, to try and get fit for when he gets back. Bit of warm weather training.
Sounds like a likely story.
Oh, hey, just saying. Jonathan Ricketts says, I think it's about time Prem teams start to let fans do cookouts and car park fan zones like the NFL. It creates such a better atmosphere.
No, you're all right.
Some of them it's tremendous.
Keep that. That's yours. That's safe.
Some of them it's tremendous. Stuart says, is there enough time to phone in?
Yes.
Do it, Stu.
If you do it in the next 5 minutes.
Hey, you, phone in. Go on, Stu, you've got your...
No, I'd like to see, just like to see some independent people coming and, putting good food on for like the fan zone and stuff, and not just like burger vans and chippy vans. Get some good independent people from around the city. You know, get some good different sources of food, so you're not stuck with the standard crap. Please,
exactly.
If you wouldn't mind.
Exactly. Rabsy Nesbitt says, evening lads, evening Rabsy. The Matty Bush says there's a massive car park by L1. There is.
There's lots of car parks by them,
but there's loads, and even
there's
some closer.
There's one off Dale Street that behind Moorfield Station, and at the moment it's like a flat fee for the weekend. So whether that can sit, and then if you park there, literally it would take you 15 minutes to walk to this new stadium, and you'd pass many a boozer and Costco for hot dogs.
Exactly. The Blues says, and you're right, obviously we won't be the only ones who clocked it, but I was laughing on Saturday that Gray almost ran into the post celebrating the goal. Him and the Corey, yeah, they were that unfamiliar territory, says the Blues. Someone was asking, was that really Brian or was it Paul McCartney? Because he sounds like him.
I'm not 100% sure. I
kept going like that with his head when he came on.
But would it be the real Paul McCartney? Or would it be the one that took over from Paul McCartney?
Oh, and whenever it was, yeah.
Hello, girl.
In 1960.
Hello, welcome to Toffee.
There you go. And apparently Paul McCartney, he died in 66, didn't he? Or 64, whatever it was. Had an argument. Woo! Shows the black one there. Tommy H says, would love a range of food tents, so to speak. Jerk, chicken, kebabs, pizza, like a proper event. Mark says, Everton have more fans that walk to the ground than any other top flight club. There you go, Mark. We'll be doing a bit more walking, won't we, as we get to Everton, a new stadium, as it is known now. We have got Stu on the line. He asked, there's the time, there was. He's got to make the call. Let's see what he's got to say. Stu.
Can you hear me, guys?
Loud and clear.
Can't hear you.
As I can hear yourselves. Brilliant, that. Well, to be honest with you, I think one of the main things, obviously, everybody's talking about at the moment is a stadium without, even though there's like 18 months or so to go.
Yeah.
I think that wouldn't it be an amazing thing if they had the foresight, and they may have, I may be sort of jumping the gun, but as we know, Everton, you know, the slow starters that they are, I just see this massive full-day event where we've got a leaving ceremony at Goodison Park, where everybody and anybody who's involved with Everton from decades gone by, we go to, you know, one last kick at the Gladys Street end goal by, you know, famous, you know, people and sponsors, etc. You know, there's merchandise, you know, to sell that the day ahead. Then when you look from the drone distance as an eagle flies, it's in eye shot and sort of I can see a procession from there to Branley Moor Dock. I can see a street walk, you know, with our trophies that we've won from the past being carried by Ratcliffe and Reed, Neville and Dunk and all sorts of people there. You know, you get relatives of like
Dixie Dean, people like that.
From the past, obviously, it's going to be great grandchildren or whoever it might be at the current time. Obviously, you know, them settling them, walking into the new stadium, putting them in the new purpose-built trophy room, and just like a sort of precedent. You know, it could be, you know, that obviously we'd all like to see Barcelona, Real Madrid, someone of the like or ilk, be our first game as a friendly. And I know I'm jumping the gun because a few years ago, you know, that would have been a credible team to call to open the stadium. But as we've slid down the league, you know, year upon year, it you know, we're less of a deal to other clubs at the current standings, but I can just see a day of entertainment and just our marker for the future to say, and we've got 9 top flight titles here. We've got a European Cup, Winners' Cup, and people around the world, and we all know that Liverpool tag is in the city name, synonymous with Liverpool Football Club as well. It doesn't with us naturally, unfortunately. So we have to shout it further to be heard across the globe to say we are in this team and we have won 9 titles and we are the 4th decorated top flight title team in England. And there'll be, I could see Sky and a channel making a big deal of this. And to be honest, I've never heard of a closing, an opening ceremony when Arsenal did it, when City did it, when Tottenham did it. With Tottenham, they had so many opening days and partial opening days. Who knew when the real one, actually, took place? I don't know when that was, and I could just see this being a really big really big deal, and put him back on the map. But
I think, listen, there's some decent ideas in there. There's some that are not going to happen. You'd have to close roads to walk from Goodison to Bramley Moordock, where the stadium is, and it's a bit of a walk. I think we done it in the car. It's only kind of 7-8 minutes. You can do it. Obviously, you can do it. Probably, I don't know, hour, bit more than that, maybe walk. I don't know, from where Goodison is. So you've got to think of. Imagine closing the roads for like an hour and a half while people processed. I can't see that happening.
It's a lovely idea.
There will be all the other stuff, though, I imagine, on the day of the stadium opening. The other thing is you've got to have test events. So Tottenham did have 3 things, so there will be 3 previous events before any kind of Premier League game will be played anyway. So... Yeah.
No, you can still have you can have those,
but you can have the big, you can have the official opening day, and you can have all the people like you've said, and listen, there might be bring replica trophies on, or what, I don't know, but there will be. I imagine they will have people there, ex-players from different eras, of course they will, and that'll be really good. But some of it to close, I don't know whether it would be viable to do a closing ceremony at Goodison.
Well, yeah, you can do. I mean, West Ham done that.
No, but on the same day.
No, I mean that's not going to happen. But West Ham had a close and said this is where the whole thing about like when the stadium's going to get built is a bit of a thing, isn't it? Because how can you plan for something if you don't know exactly when the stadium's going to be open for? Everton really need to nail that down and get a real date and talk to the fans again, as always, not talking to the fans. But I really do like the sentiment. You're right. I mean, listen. The new stadium, we were talking about it before, just talking off, like, we were actually talking about Carlo Ancelotti taking over the Brazil job, and we were saying, wouldn't it be amazing if Everton could sign a deal with someone like Brazil to play, say, like 4 friendlies, make Everton's new stadium the home of Brazil. Yeah, for like a year or 2 in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously we've both seen Brazil play at Goodison. I've seen them play at Anfield a few years back when they played Croatia. Wouldn't it be brilliant if we could do something like that? Sign a deal with like Brazil. If Carlo was the manager and you brought all those amazing players to the new stadium, and that could be part of the opening for it would be Brazil are going to play a friendly. This is going to be their home in Europe because they do play home fixtures in Europe and something like that as well. Do you know, something that says it's not just about Everton, it's going to be an international stage as well. And really show it off, not just with Everton playing.
But Everton should be doing that, for instance, because they want the Euros.
Yeah,
there
that's
as
what I'm
well,
saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Really, don't just make it one event. Make it. It should have an opening that tells the world that there's a new stadium here, not just Everton playing a Real Madrid or whoever. The way Tottenham have gone, the NFL are going to be playing here for the next 3 or 4, 5 years. Everton should be being bold like that and saying Brazil are playing here for the next 2 years. All their European friendlies are going to be at Everton Stadium. Make a statement like that. Make a real statement that's what's going to happen. I'd love to see something like that. And that could be part of the opening to it, because imagine, listen, there'll be loads of fans going to our new stadium, the Evertonians. But imagine saying to people, we're welcoming the rest of the world in by, and then you're going to get Liverpool fans going to paying for tickets to go to our stadium, you know, to watch Brazil, or City fans or United fans, and loads of them going, this is incredible. What an incredible place. Getting that brand out there, showing the world, you know, it going Brazil, being on TV back in Brazil and South America, and they're going, look at that stadium, that's incredible where they're playing, and selling that to the rest of the world, that there's a new world-class stadium, and it's Everton Stadium, and it's you know, in Liverpool on the banks of the Royal Blue Mersey. So I think there's lots of things. It doesn't have to be just one thing. I think there's lots of things. You know, a world-class concert, you know, to have a series of launch events, you know, an amazing concert with Beyonce or Paul McCartney or whoever, Foo Fighters, whoever it is, have an amazing international game, all these things that just say this place can do this, and this, and it not just be about Everton just playing. Sell it to the world. Go big with it.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think absolutely spot on, all that. Absolutely spot on. And it'll be, you know, imagine if they actually had that down on the list to play Brazil at the new Bramley Moore Dock, but they've struck it off the list now because they don't want you to have had a good...
I never said it. I never said it. Honest, it wasn't me.
About that. Yeah, so we'll only get Bolivia or something, or Peru. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that does sound sensational, and we only get one chance at doing this, so do it right. And you know, when the media thing, the only thing that I think Everton have done media-wise exceptional in the last few years was the signing of Rodriguez, and I don't think they've ever done anything since, in my opinion. You know, they did that right, but then they got everything else wrong. Else to seem to follow it.
Yeah.
That, you know, obviously we don't, there's a lot of days and games between now and the first day that stadium opens.
Yeah.
And all we know, you know, the dynamics of the board and the owner may be completely different after that. I'm sure Kevin's only in this just so that he can be alive to see, you know, the first day in the stadium, and then he'll probably step down after that. But you know, he got that there and go down in history. But that aside, we need to tell people that don't know that
that's it, isn't it?
9 top flight titles and more still than Man City, Chelsea, and Spurs. For God's sake, we need to say that, because so many people around the world that watch Sky, not just the UK, obviously, but so many people out there don't. Yeah. You know, it needs to be said. But, yeah, anyway. I'd get your opinions on that. But,
cheers, mate.
Nice one.
Thanks for the call, Stu.
No worries.
Thanks,
cheers, mate. Take it easy.
See you later.
Ta-ra, pal. Ta-ra.
No, I think that's important, because I think one thing I think Tottenham have done well, whether it's by accident or whether it's by design, is that it's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and therefore, when the NFL use it, it's their own brand that they're selling, aren't they? You know, where you playing? Where's this NFL playing game? Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's a sponsor. It's a sponsor within itself. And if Everton want to sell that stadium, then they should be coming up with ideas like that. I might say, imagine Brazil play 4 times over a year, and it gives everyone an opportunity to come and watch Brazil play, and they're playing at Goodison. And I think as Evertonians, I think as we've grown up, we know there is that attachment of it, because we watched Brazil, we watched Ronaldo playing at Goodison Park. We know, we've seen the iconic images of Pele playing at Goodison Park, the only stadium he played in during the '66 World Cup. We've seen that. We know there's almost like, for us, there's like a growing up, there was always that little link, you know, and stuff, and it made you feel something for Brazil, because we know there's an attachment with our football club. So imagine reaching out to them and saying, do you want to sign up for a year, 4 friendlies, or whatever it is, over and then attracting all those people in that wouldn't normally go,
Yeah.
and then going, look at this place, look what we can offer, look at the facilities, and not just for the people who are going to be going week in and week out, because it should be more than that. Come and and that's how you get all the sponsors in. That's how you get the people buying the boxes and all that kind of thing. So I hope that's the kind of thinking that will go into the stadium, and that will lift it, and people will go, God, look. And then obviously it's going to be a stadium that's going to be hopefully used for the 2028 Euros, and again, it's that thing of make sure you come and enjoy the facilities that are
Create it,
you know, and I'm sure the city would love that as well.
Absolutely. They should. Just a couple of things. First of all, make sure you subscribe to Toffee TV Football for all non-Everton stuff. The link is just there. Click on it. Subscribe now. Thank you very much. Raz Beach says replica trophies. Turn it in. Well, there is replica trophies.
Yeah, there is replica trophies.
Literally replica trophies in the trophy room. Make sure you just bring them out like that, wouldn't you? Because that's showing you what they won. So, yeah. What most big clubs do, to be fair. The Blues says if the fans demand a stand named after Big Nev, does anyone believe the board would stay strong and don't give in to the pressure? This is coming off the back of him saying before he feels like there should be a stand. Yeah. But Mathew Bush saying I can't see it happening because there's a few on the board that he's upset.
That's if they're still there. But
we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
I'm not really I don't really like the idea of naming stands off after anybody, if I'm honest. Put statues up outside if you can commemorate.
Defo should be a statue for Nev outside, definitely. Even if it isn't a stand, there should defo be a statue for Neville Southall. Absolutely, there should. And I've said before, I don't know whether I said it on this last week or something else we've done. I want one Howard Kendall.
Yeah.
With the suit on, the one at Wembley. That one. Because he's Everton's most successful manager ever, and just I think he deserves one. Obviously, managed us 3 times, played for us, so I think he should definitely have one. Stands, I'm not a massive fan of the whatever stand, but definitely statue for Neville Southall, absolutely, and one for, like I said, one for Howard Kendall would be mine. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to Toffee TV as well. Do that. Thank you very much.
Toffee TV Football.
No, I'm talking about Toffee TV anyway. But Toffee TV Football, definitely subscribe. Some good stuff on it. Some non-Everton's. Well,
so you're going to say not some good stuff on it then?
Some good stuff on it.
Ned do stuff on it?
Non-Everton stuff on it. So just general football. So if you've got an opinion on general football, get over on there and have a look at them. Hey, you, be good. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
We are.
Right, listen, thank you very, very much for everybody who was called in. Thanks to everybody who's been in the comments and subscribed and liked and made comments. The last couple, the Blues says definitely should be a statue, but I feel like that's less likely. I prefer that all day if we could, though. And the Matty Bush says statues are absolutely a must. Of course they are. And Claire Campbell says Ned's chance to give us a gig. Ned, are you in?
Well, Ned could play the fan zone, couldn't he?
He could easily play the fan zone.
Should be playing the fan zone now.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
You don't get it. You don't get it. Yeah, you don't get it.
So short-sighted.
You don't get it.
You
don't get it.
I'd love to, but they promised me years ago, and since then I've been asked by other clubs, and they haven't been asked.
But those other clubs aren't your club.
I know, yeah, but I'm not going to bully either of them, am I?
Why?
But they promised me and I would give it.
He doesn't get it.
He
Right,
doesn't get
listen,
it.
thank you very much. We're going. Take it easy.
Doesn't
Bye.
get it.
Just doesn't get it.